Hey, Crystal Maiden here, and welcome to part 3 of Sonic 3 Knuckles. I haven't talked fully about the elemental shields yet. Oh yeah, this is a nice part. It feels really satisfying being pulled up by those things. And those are false spike enemies, and weirdly enough, when you jump on them, they don't hurt you. Which kind of defeats the purpose of having them be disguised as spikes. In fact, if anything, the spikes are more dangerous than they are. And again, I love these slopes because you just hold down to them and you go so fast. And I love it how fast you go when you're on the ground with these spinning tops. Although there's also a lot of places where you can get crushed. You're a lot more likely to get crushed in this game than in Sonic 2. I'm going into these bonus stages so much it makes Sonic look like he's got a gambling addiction. But really I did that just so that I could have a smooth place to stop the recording and start a new one. Because if I record for too long, then it starts getting dropped frames. Yeah, that floor respawns, so then you have to go back and get another one. And then it goes to the right when you don't want it to. Yeah, the controls in this thing are horrible. The thing about the flame shield that bothers me is that the camera can't keep up with it. Like, it moves so fast that the camera can't keep up with it very well. And usually I end up losing it when I keep spamming its homing attack. It gets a lot more useful later in the game where there's a lot more fire. Right now it's kind of the middle ground shield. Well, I wouldn't say the bubble shield is necessarily the worst one, because there's so many water areas in Sonic 3. I mean, seriously, this game is probably the one with the most water areas to date. You don't have to spend very long in the water areas at Angel Island Zone. So really the only way you could drown in Angel Island Zone is if you were Knuckles, and you got into Sonic's path, and you were in an unwinnable situation because you can't jump high enough. I'm a lot better at the special stages now. I played this game a lot more since I played this for the LP. I played it for Sonic and Tails, for Sonic 3 Complete, and then I played it as Tails, and then I played it again as Sonic alone. All in the span of like 3 days. So I'm a lot better at the game now, but I feel like it's a much more accurate representation of the game's difficulty. Show you not an expert playing at the game, but more like a regular playthrough. So that's why I leave in all the deaths and all the screw-ups, because it's more accurate showing off the game. You lose the elemental shields when you get hit once. So on the one hand, it really feels like it hampers its usefulness, especially for a first-time player who's a lot more likely to get hit. On the other hand, it rewards skill, because if you're skilled enough to keep them, then I hate those things so much. That's easily my least favorite part of the whole level. They just slow down the pace of the level tremendously. And again, I can't stress enough what an awful decision it is to put Sonic at the center of the camera. Because it means that if something suddenly appears at the center of the camera, from off screen, then he's guaranteed to get hit by it. It's like, if he's going left, then he should always be at the right center of the screen. And if he's going right, he should be at the left center of the screen. I think even the 8-bit Sonic games get that right. Even they have better positional placement of Sonic. Here he's always at the center, and it makes it a lot easier to suddenly run into enemies from off screen. These enemies, they often, well, sometimes you can run into them, but usually they're nice enough to jump when you run towards them, so that you don't hit them. Like the ones at the very end of the stage. I've warmed up to this level quite a bit as I played it, but when I first played it, well, the first couple times I played it, I didn't like it very much. I like it more the more I play it. Because the more I play it, the more I appreciate the fast parts. And the more I'm able to put up with the slow-paced parts. But when I first played the game, I felt like this was a level that couldn't decide what it wanted to be. The platforming, well, it has great platforming, but also has really slow parts. Mainly because of the ball and chains, and that doesn't, I don't feel like that adds anything positive. The fire shield makes you, well, it's called a flame shield, but either way. The flame shield makes you immune to fire. I love how elemental shields have more than just one effect. The bubble, well, there aren't any water attacks in this game. I guess the bubble shield would make you immune to water attacks, but instead it makes you immune to water in the sense that you can't drown. And the electricity shield, well, the electric shield, it makes you immune to electricity, but you're only going to have electricity as a threat in really late in the game. But because the double jump and the rings being attracted is so awesome, it's worth it. The electric shield is easily the best shield in the game, and it makes sense that they brought it back for future installments. I mean, a double jump would definitely break a 3D game. There's no question about that. You're in a 3D environment, so it's even more likely that it'll break the game. At least here you're restricted to 2 directions. So I can understand why they took the double jump out. I mean, I think, if anything, they should, if they're going to bring the electric shield with the double jump back, they should restrict it to certain sections of a level and make it guaranteed that you'll lose it so that it doesn't completely break the game, but level design is designed around it. This boss fight with Tails alone is hell. Absolute hell. There's no other way to describe it. It's absolute hell. And in Sonic 3 Complete, this is really awkward because I have Tails set so that he can still be used to fly me around without a second controller. So I have to hold down and press A to jump off of him, and I have to constantly rapidly tap the A button to keep going up with him. In regular Sonic 3 Knuckles though, you control him by just moving around with the control pad, and then you press A to jump off him, which is much better. I wish Sonic 3 Complete allowed you to toggle between the two in very specific circumstances, so that he controlled normally in this particular boss fight. For the most part, Tails alone is the easy mode of the game, because he can fly over really annoying platforming sections, like the spinning tops making go through the air in Marble Garden Zone. He can skip those. And so, I guess to compensate for that, they made his boss in that level ridiculously hard. And I'll be showing that off in an extra video. Suffice to say, Sonic doesn't exactly come around to help him. And it's kind of ironic because, well, Tails still manages to be the easy mode because that's just one boss of his that's extremely difficult. But I game overed when I was first playing it, and I died so many times because it's so precise and specific. And when I first played that boss, I thought that it was random where he showed up after he left the screen. Because after he leaves the screen, then he goes into the background, and then he leaves the screen in the background. The position where he leaves the screen is the position where he's going to be coming back. But when I was first playing the game, I sucked at figuring out where he was going to show up next, and so I always got hurt. And when Eggman's flying directly up, hurting him with Tails alone is not a good idea at all. But I've gone on too much about this. The point is that that boss fight alone makes me have a hard time thinking of Tails alone as the easy mode, just because of that one boss fight. Even though you pass that boss fight pretty early in the game. But this is Carnival Night Zone. This is easily one of my least favorite levels in the game. I mean, it has its fast parts, but it's also got its slow parts, and the bumpers constantly knock you back and prevent you from going as fast as you could. These things, you stand on them and it takes forever to be brought to where you need to be. And there's constantly springs sending you back. Springs that send you back are bad level design. I don't understand how they contribute anything positive at all. I mean, they reward jumping at the right time, sure, but even no matter how many times you play the level, you're still probably going to get sent back by them. I just hate pinball levels because you constantly get sent in directions you don't want to go. There aren't any pinball flippers here though. Pinball level is just a general term that people use to describe the levels where you have a lot of bumpers in Sonic games. And pinball levels are a concept unique to Sonic. You don't see them in Mario games, and for good reason. And it's kind of ironic because pinball levels are even more annoying when you're playing a fast-paced platformer because you're rushing ahead, so you're a lot more likely to get knocked back by the bumpers. So they're a lot more of a challenge. I'm kind of embarrassed by showing this footage. And yeah, I got a game over, and because of that game over, I was able to get another ring. And I was able to actually, well, I don't remember. Did I beat the special stage? I'm not sure how you're supposed to know how exactly you collect those 4 spears in order to turn them into rings. And again, the problem with the special stages is that there's no map, so it's very easy to lose track of which parts of the level you've already been to. And the camera's constantly spinning around you, so it's easy to get motion sickness. And the stage speeds up, too. I think my least favorite part of a special stage is panicking when I have just 4 blue spears left to find, or whatever, and I don't know where they are. But yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed of my footage of the boss fight of this game because now I can do it just fine. I can beat it really quickly. But it's incredibly unintuitive when you don't know what to do. Because when you first fight it, you don't know that you have to jump into the boss in order to open him up, and only when he's opened up can he be harmed by the spinning top. That's incredibly unintuitive. It's not something you deal with very often in a Sonic game. So you jump into him in exactly that way, and then he opens up, and only then can the spinning top damage him. But it's hard to get the idea to do that because when you jump into it, it doesn't damage it. So you think, oh, okay, I'm wasting my time by jumping into him, so I won't jump into him. And the spinning top moves around all over the place, and it can damage you if you hit the wrong side of it. And the electricity can hurt you as well. And obviously if all of the floor breaks, then you fall to your death. It's not like it's a waiting game where you have to wait for the spinning top to destroy all of the floor. This boss took me forever when I first fought it. I don't really die to it all that often now. Although it's still easy to lose your rings here and not be able to get them back. See you in the next part.